Hey guys, welcome back to Suitcase Princess. My name is Shauna. If you are new here, we are a family of four who loves to get out and travel. We are here to help you have more fun, find more value in your dollars spent, and have a little less stress on your family adventures. Today, I just want to share with you, run through a quick list of the ways that a Disney vacation is quite a bit harder in 2021. Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. Disney has made quite a few changes in the past few years. We ourselves have not been to Disney World in almost 2 years now. Many of these changes are new and COVID related. Some of them were pre-pandemic changes that Disney started implementing that have just made family travels to Disney World a bit harder. So all of these I have firsthand experience with. And so I feel like I should share them with you, especially if you haven't been on a Disney vacation in a little while, as travel is ramping back up. Thankfully, many people are getting out, many people are scheduled. All of the trips that did get canceled because of closures are now back on. Everyone's having fun and getting out. So this is just a little bit of kind of a running list of the things that have changed in the last 3 or 4 years concerning Disney World vacations, especially for families. That is the bulk of my Disney experience, is as a family with young children. And so that's what I can speak to. Okay, so Disney has made a lot of big changes. Now, some of the ones that started a few years ago were things as little as stroller size. Now, you wouldn't think that stroller size limits would be that big of a deal, but they really kind of are. Disney made this change a few years ago. You could be in the park and you could see there were companies that would rent out these massive, like, Cinderella carriages that would fit like 2 to 4 girls in them, and it was like a massive thing, and you pushed behind. It was like a big, massive, had like handbrakes things. There were Cinderella carriages, and there were the little like pod racer things from Star Wars that families could rent out and have delivered at the park, and then use that as their park mode of transportation for the day. Super awesome, super elaborate. However, with that and then the introduction of the push wagon type strollers, so wagons have never been allowed at Disney, or the coolers. Anything you pull behind you has never been allowed at Disney because it does create kind of a tripping hazard. You guys know, if you've been anywhere with kids as a parent, strollers are hard enough to not like run someone over or have somebody stop in front of you or get nailed in the back of the leg. So strollers already are such a hazard when used, and you throw a couple of 50-pound kids in there, it's like a serious battering ram. So Disney had already started limiting stroller sizes. Now what they've done is, even the push wagons, even if you push it like a stroller, it is not allowed. They've also really started enforcing the size limits of a stroller. Now, you would think that that's not that big a deal, but like, we have a side-by-side double jogging stroller, but it's the full size. It has 2 wheels on the front instead of 1, which makes it, I believe it's like a 1/2 inch or 1 inch too wide for the parameters of what is officially accepted at Disney World as far as stroller size. Now, I don't think a ton of people get turned away, but the deal is they really can. So I wouldn't risk it unless you have a plan for that stroller to get right back to the car or leave it in a trash can. I don't know what your plans are, but really stick with those stroller sizes. So really limiting that, and you will still see the push wagons and things like that in the parks, but those are reserved for children who are using those with their DAS pass as a wheelchair. So they'll have the red tag tagged as wheelchair. So yes, you may see them, but those are special circumstances and they may not apply to you. If they do, that's great, then you can use them, but you have to get them specially tagged. But that's not for the masses, it's not for everyone. Now, one of the absolute best things about going to Disney World as a young family, you didn't even have to take the car seat. So it was like this magical world where you went and you tagged your luggage at home, and you went to the airport and you dropped it with your luggage SkyCap service, and then you got on the plane, and then off of the plane you went straight to the Magical Express hosted by Disney. You got on your bus, you went to your resort, and about 4 hours later your luggage magically showed up into your room and it was heaven. And you did not have to go to the turnstile at MCO to collect your baggage, lug it onto the bus, and get it to Disney with you. Gone are those days of luggage service. And this is a COVID casualty, but on your return trip, you could go, and many of the resorts had luggage check-in. So before we even went for the park on our last day, we could go, we could check in our luggage, and we would just pick it up at the turnstile when we arrived home back in Houston. It was magical, truly and wonderfully magical. That service is gone. So now you have to go get your own baggage off the turnstile and lug it to the bus. Then you have to get it to your room, or put it with, luggage services and store it until your room is available. And ditto the reverse on the back ways coming home. Not to mention, Magical Express is officially ending January 1, 2022. There will be a pay service offered through Mears, and the rates are pretty affordable, but it is no longer free, and it is no longer officially Disney transportation, so your vacation does not start as soon as you touch down in the Orlando International Airport. Now you will be paying a service. I think it's like $32 for an adult round trip. It's not bad, but it's just not the same. So that is another way that Disney vacations have gotten harder for families, because it was awesome, so awesome. You just went and got on the bus. You didn't even have to take a car seat. It was heaven. So now you're gonna really have to check into, depending on the type of transportation that you're going to be using to and from the parks, to back and forth to the airport or to the cruise line, you really may need to have a car seat with you. Now, I have a link, I'm gonna share it down below, my fold car seats. We took these to Europe, we've taken them everywhere, we've taken them to DC. They're so amazing. They fold up so small, they're really easy and handy to travel with. So if you need that, go check out my Amazon storefront, and I will have them linked both down below and over on that shop. They're amazing, super affordable. They're great if you just need like a spare seat. They're like booster size, so like 4 and up. So anything below that, you're gonna have to get a real seat. But if you have that kind of middle age where you're not quite comfortable without them being in a booster or seatbelt of some kind, then this is a way to go. Another thing that has gotten a little bit harder is that Disney has banned loose ice. So if you are more than welcome to take in food and drinks in reasonably sized soft-sided coolers, you can't like pick the giant like Yeti cooler through the parks, but you can take in coolers. Now, one of the things that they have changed, it's not a huge deal, but you just need to be aware of it so that you can pack maybe Ziploc bags to take with you, is that you can't have loose ice. So a lot of the rooms have beverage coolers. It's not even a mini fridge, there's no like freezer compartment, but you can get ice from the hotel ice machine and just put it in a bag. It just can't be loose in whatever your cooler system you're using. I don't fully understand or know why, but with the guards having to check through security, digging through it, I guess it just makes their life a little bit easier. So keep that in mind, that your ice, or if you're a mama who's pumping, carrying breast milk, anything like that, your ice cannot be loose. It just needs to be like in a bag. So keep that in mind. So another way that Disney vacations are just harder in 2021 for families is the advanced reservation system. Now, is it that big a deal? It's kind of not. If you're a Disney person, you've always kind of had to have massive amount of plans really far in advance, because that's how Disney World planning has kind of grown into this whole beast of its own. But now you must have your ticket and you must have your reservation for that specific day to that specific park. It does make changing any plans a lot harder. Something else that goes along with that is, while park hoppers are allowed, you cannot hop to your second park until 2 p.m. or later, which means that it's just a bit harder to fit more things into a day. So if you were trying to do like all 4 parks in a day, or if you wanted to have like a lunch reservation, you are actually able to snag it, let's say at Cinderella's Royal Table, but you're in Epcot for the day, you can't hop over there until 2 p.m. or later. You are able to change your reservations online if you need to do that. It's just one more thing that's making it a little bit harder to really manage Disney World vacations with small children. In that same thread, the dining plan has yet to come back. So the dining plan has been absent. If you are unfamiliar with what the Disney dining plan is, you basically could prepay a certain amount of meal and snack credits per day. So there's different tiers of the dining plan, and it made it really easy, especially for families like mine. There were certain promotions throughout the year that would include the free dining plan. And so therefore we could try to get that promotion applied to our room and ticket package. And then it just made it a little bit easier to be a yes parent. If we had all these snack credits, it's a little bit easier to be like, sure, you want that slushie? Why not? Same thing there is that there are no real discounts right now. There's no package discounts and things like that. And that's just because the day that I'm filming this is October 1st, the official 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. And what that means is there are just no discounts because they know they're busy enough to not need them. They're not needing to pull more people in. But also with everything having been closed, it's all kind of backed up and there's double the people going now. So there's no need for them to offer a discount. But if you're a family like we are, it's a little harder to be able to afford the cost of Disney without some of those off-season travel discounts that we have honestly become so accustomed to. Something else that makes it a little bit harder to travel around with your family to Disney in 2021 is that they're pushing more and more of the apps and the usage on your phone versus doing all of the things via Magic Bands that we were able to do before. So Magic Bands are not going away, they are changing. It was recently announced. However, more and more of the things being on the phone versus getting the included Magic Bands means that, you know, your kids aren't getting the bands for free, which is always crummy because my kids love them. But also you're more and more on your phone, which does drain the battery. So be sure you've packed a spare battery, a rechargeable battery, for your days in the parks. Another thing, Fast Pass Plus is gone. So many people that I know would feel that Fast Pass, that those included 3 Fast Passes a day, guaranteed you at least 3 rides a day. And for people with young children, if you're not Disney experienced, a park day is a lot. And so it can be really hard to get in a lot of rides or things like that. But having those 3 Fast Passes just kind of guaranteed that you got those. If you were a family like mine, we would maximize our Fast Passes. We could go into the app on your phone or at the kiosks and modify to get either rides you wanted, to move your times up. There were some days that we were able to use 20 Fast Passes in a day because we kept messing with it and tweaking and moving and scheduling things with a really well thought out plan. So Fast Passes are gone, Genie Plus is coming, but it's not here yet. The most recent thing that I have heard on that is that the Genie Plus will not allow for you to use more than 1 lightning lane per ride. So if your kid loves the teacups, you better be prepared to stand in line for all but one of those rides on the teacups. So I'm really hoping that they change that and get it back to the way the Fast Pass system was. However, if you are someone who is not going to be paying for Genie Plus, then it's a great thing to know that people can't just be constantly getting lightning lanes for, you know, even the same ride consecutive times if you're the folk who is going to be in the standby line. So that is a little bit of a perk there. Now, another thing, we have not seen the return of traditional holiday parties. We love the parties. They are so fun. What they have done is they've changed them to the after hours events. These are not the same. The party prices are a little bit lower. It's a little bit more themey and a little bit more kid-friendly than the after-hours parties are. After-hours parties are a bit more expensive. It's more kind of ride and experience geared than it is like the fun theming of a holiday event. We are also still tragically missing traditional parades and character meet and greets. These are things that have made family travels to Disney just so much harder in 2021 because your kids want to be able to interact and talk to. What if they miss their favorite character because you didn't happen to be at the cavalcade at the right time, or you didn't happen to see them going past at the train station in Magic Kingdom, for example? So these are things, this is just a running list of things that have just made Disney vacations harder in 2021. Now, let me know down below in the comments, what is your contribution to this? Do you think it's easier? Do you think it's harder? It's definitely different, and lots of it will never be the same. I'm interested to go later this month to find out what it really feels like now on a Disney vacation. We have tons of experience with this, and I'm interested to see how it goes for us because we do have so much Disney travel experience. But I don't know, guys. I'll keep you posted. I'll definitely be back to share. Let me know down below or over on Instagram at Suitcase Princess. What are your thoughts? How do you think it's going? Easier, harder? What's something you're gonna miss? I personally am gonna miss character greetings and getting our autograph book signed, because that is, the character interactions are just some of my absolute favorite memories of Disney are my kids interacting with those characters, and I am so sad that we are not gonna have that this time. I'm genuinely upset and unhappy and could cry about it, but such are the times we are living in, guys. I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, thank you for coming back. I appreciate your support, and for those of you who have stayed through to the end, give me your best pixie dust moment. Mine, my daughter got selected, and this actually happened. They actually asked her to do it twice in one day, but I felt so bad. She got selected to keep the dark side out of the Hollywood Studios like meet and greet area for Chewbacca. It was her job after the Star Wars processional to keep the bad guys out. She'd use the Force. It was so awesome. And then she got a private meet and greet with Rey and Chewbacca. It was pretty amazing. I'll see if I can find a picture. It was pretty great. Little Disney moments that I'm definitely gonna miss. Jedi training, RIP Jedi training.